Damian Journey, Chief Growth Officer at 72 and Sunny. We're coming live to you from Sport Beach, Stagwell's amazing new activation here at Cannes Lions 2023. And I couldn't be happier than to be here with my friend, Kim Wilson. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Damon.
I could do a terrible job of trying to describe who you are and what you do, so I won't do that. I'd rather you share with us who you are and what you do and all the good things. We'll go from there. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right.
Well, as you know, Kimberly Wilson. I've been in the marketing industry for 23 years in sports, media, and entertainment. I started my career at BET back in 2000. From there, went and worked in radio for a while, but the bulk of my time, I spent 16 years at the Walt Disney Company, mostly ESPN. And then most recently, I was at SiriusXM Pandora, Senior Vice President of Brand and Consumer Marketing.
Wow, now that is a career. Many people are fortunate to have one stop at one place like that, and instead you've been at BET, which is like revolutionized black culture in many ways. It certainly put black culture in the viewing audience's view. And then Walt Disney, and you played with Mickey Mouse, and then you did the ESPN thing, so you're around sports entertainment. And then SiriusXM, which is like a tremendous brand in the U.S., even beyond that, I believe, to a degree. So you had a storied career. Your name is Wilson, and we're sitting in front of some Wilson balls here at Sport Beach, which is remarkable. Tell me a bit about sports, because sport entertainment is kind of a blending sort of environment in this day and age. Tell me kind of your take on sport as it relates to broader culture.
Well, I actually grew up an athlete. My dad was very bullish about my sister and I having a sport and an instrument. So we had to do both just to be well-rounded.
Yeah.
So I always grew up in a household of sports fans. I'm from Chicago, so it's all Chicago all day.
Okay. I'm from near the D. We support Detroit sports.
I know.
We won't let that come between us.
We won't. My defining moment, though, in sport as it relates to culture was I grew up Chicago during the Jordan years.
Oh.
So I got to witness what true fandom meant for a city who really needed it.
Yeah.
Number
the
one.
Bulls hadn't been good ever. Before
in years.
Jordan. Yeah, like it hadn't been a long time.
And he and Pippen and that whole team transformed what I believed as fandom meant personally. So when I had an opportunity to actually work in sports, it was an easy one for me because I could truly understand that sports was a unifier.
Yes, it
when
is.
When there was all of the division, whether it's political or whatever, cultural, sports brought it together. So having the opportunity to work at ESPN, number one, but also work in Bristol at ESPN.
All right, you were in the mothership,
I was
the
at
hub.
the mothership for a couple of years.
Wow.
So I really got to immerse myself in content and fandom. And then to be able to then take that to SiriusXM, where it's all about fandom, right? Touching the hearts and minds of fans. It was an incredible journey.
That's pretty remarkable, because I want to know, fandom is a critical term. We hear it a lot these days, but I don't think it's all that well understood. How do you define fandom, especially for a brand like SiriusXM that is not a sports platform, but is a broader platform? How do you think about it in the context of non-sports related industries?
Well, to me, fandom is anything that touches the heart and mind of someone who is connected to that content, that artist, that athlete, And so when you can tap into the emotional capital of someone and really, capture their hearts again, their hearts and minds, I always go back to that, then fandom can transcend any genre. So you have film and TV, which I spent a lot of my time in as well. Imagine a Disney fan. Has nothing to do with sport.
Right.
Right?
That's true.
But it is something emotional about seeing your child literally at 2 years old know who Mickey Mouse is.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So
Ronald McDonald's another example of that,
100%.
Right?
And so brands that understand the emotional connection and how to leverage fandom regardless of the space, they win.
Wow, it's interesting. I think every brand is working to try to get there, and some have achieved it, and others are on a journey to. So I think those insights are really, really helpful. How do you advise your clients on how to build fandom? Because it's one thing to try to capture the hearts and minds. It's a totally different thing to actually be able to do it. Do you have any nuggets that you'd like to share on how to actually cross the chasm and make that happen?
You got to know them. Know your audience. Know what makes them tick. Know what drives them to not just purchasing decisions, but what makes their life better.
Yeah.
I think a lot of brands understand the value of knowing their audience and how important segmentation is. Like, how do I dig in and understand that's a person? It's not just a subscriber. It's not just a button seat, right? It is as an individual. And how do I leverage that data and those insights for that particular group of people or a particular person, and serve them up storytelling and products and positioning and all of the things that us marketers think about day in and day and night. What makes them tick, and then how do we serve their need?
I got it. Anybody would be lucky to have you on their team to help sort that out. You've done it for some of the best brands in the world and have been super successful at it. I'm with 72 and Sunny, as you know. It's a passion point of mine, and one of the things that we really preach is optimism. Not just blind positivity, but the idea that despite a challenge, there is a solution and we're willing to help work hard to solve it. How do you think about optimism in the context of fandom and brands? Does that mean anything to you, and how do you kind of approach it?
I love that. I absolutely love that. I think in a world where people are met with so many different messages, negative, positive, having someone whose approach is grounded in positivity, I think is exactly what we need. And fans want that. When you think about when you see a fan crying because their team won, or you see
they lost.
Or they lost.
Yeah.
Or they lost, right? That raw emotion, to be able to then leverage positivity to reach them. Yeah. It's an incredible thing. Yeah.
Thanks to you, Kimberly Wilson, for being with us today. You've provided so many great insights. And I'll just like to say to those of you out there that that's it for now. But make sure you track us on #SportBeach2023 and check out Stagwell as we continue to do great things here at Cannes in 2023.